Prepare for action! Prepare for adventure! Prepare for a spooky spacewalk on the quest for the Quantum Rose! Welcome back to Quest for the Quantum Rose. When we last left our heroes, they were preparing to disembark yet again from Mall Station C4 after a run-in on the way back from their side job and another encounter with the Invect drones that seem intent on just blasting them out of the sky, seemingly at every turn. Now then, as we rejoin our heroes, they are currently standing around on the deck of the ship, waiting for the final permission to lift off. And after a minute, they do get a report over the comms that they have received clearance to disembark and a wish of safe travels from traffic control. So, where to, Pilot Kala?
Kala, you there?
We didn't catch you. You were on mute. We can hear you now.
No.
Oh, no, yeah, we were headed in a specific direction.
Yes. So, per your directions from the Mother of Now, she had bade you go to see Granny Promethea on the planet Nyx, which is one maw jump and one dark matter jump away from your present location. And since it's the first of the day, you have all your jump spots active. So,
Punch it.
Okay. So I will move you to the next mall station. Now, at this point, where are you headed? Because this is not going to be a guided mall jump. This is going to be a planetary jump.
Alright, so where were we on like all these different outposts last?
So here is, you can see a roll 20, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. So your ship is like literally a stone's throw away from the planet, but there's a question of how to get there. Now, last I checked, nobody bought star charts to actually navigate the warp jump there from the maw. Mm-hmm. But you have roaches.
We have a roach left. Wait, did we already eat a roach?
I was gonna say, I don't know that Kala ever did eat a roach.
Did Kala, did you eat the roach?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so there's still a cleric devoted to Caxos and a warlock devoted to Valerie.
So, I thought that the galactic charts were on the net. I didn't think we had to specifically purchase. We've never made mention of purchasing star charts before.
You were provided star charts for the first couple destinations. In this case, you had to buy the chart navigating you from Kemet to. I'm sorry. You were provided the one from Kemet to Fornax. Now, the trip from Fornax to Nyx was a little bit more fraught, but you were provided the destination in the galactic map from the Mother of Now, right? Mm-hmm. So it's not the same thing as navigating the path to it from a dark matter jump perspective. It just shows you where on the wheel she is. Does that make sense?
It does, but if that's the case, as a pilot, I would hope I had the foresight to make sure I had the charts before we even started departure sequences on the mall station.
And fair enough, like, it's easy enough for you to dock here at the mall station really quick, or at least radio in and actually transact the star charts from Astrogations Inc. Let's see here, what did we set for the charts? And this is actually pretty local data, so...
no offense, but yeah, if I'd have known that was going to be a specific need long before now, it would have been one of the first things I would have purchased upon setting foot on the previous mall station.
Well, all right. Then
that's fair.
I mean, bearing forward, let's just remember that is an expense to be incurred if you're not going to be popping bugs.
Now that I actually have been told by you that it's a requirement that we have the star charts, then yes, that's exactly what I'll be doing.
Ah,
I was under the impression we didn't need.
Well, if you're just navigating between mall stations, they jump perfectly every time. So it's when you get off of the beaten path and start heading to planets, like for instance, Chaos provided you the star chart to navigate back to his ship. But you made a blind jump when you came back from that place because you didn't have a chart and he didn't think to get one either. So when you blind jumped, you made a solid blind jump, but you ended up a little ways outside of your target zone, and then you ended up in a fight.
Then let me rephrase my statement. Had I been specifically told that that was going to be a requirement and not something that was going to be provided as a quest-by-quest portion, i.e. by Chaos when we need to go there versus not knowing where we're going back to, then yes, by all means, I would spend as much gold as I would need to get darts for everywhere that we would be heading.
All right. Cala's honor is intact as a pilot, so that's all fine.
Fair. Yes.
I
can presume I've gotten my 24 hours rest from my surgeries.
Well, no, you're still laid up because you literally just had the surgery.
Oh, okay. I thought you said we actually made a jump and everything.
It doesn't take but like instantaneous amount of time to jump from joint to joint. So, like it's maybe 10 minutes to taxi up to the actual mall station, and then the transmission is instantaneous. So you've only been on the road about 10 minutes now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, shit. Actually, from what I remember, I'm still knocked out because I threw back a pudding cup filled with vodka.
Yeah.
So I'm K'd
very much against medical orders.
We did not get along.
Hey, I wasn't told not to drink. I was told to rest, which I am resting.
You're cardiac arresting.
Oh jeez, and I'm the doctor.
Yes.
You're coming in a little low there. What'd you say?
Did we get a long rest, or we did not, right?
No. Okay, so when you guys came back through, it was the course of a day, so you could have taken a long rest, because y'all took like 24 hours to work on the repairs for the ship, and during all that time, Val went and got some new cyberware, and
you molted.
Yeah, you molted. You had a nice little bug spa day. So, but yeah, it would have been it would have been a long rest time. So, yes.
Side note, because it may come up in a bit later. Do we have what our facilities on here look like? Do we have like things for washing clothes and stuff like that?
I mean,
I presume as such.
Mostly, you can find somebody on board of a ship who knows prestidigitation.
Right.
So that kind of utility magic sort of obviates the need for certain objects on board a ship.
Right.
There is a head, so like you can wash clothes in there if you need to.
Okay. Right. Just so we're not just making sure we're space truckering or not.
Yeah, no, it's fine. So the route's just 50 GP, like 50 credits for the pathing to your next planetary destination. So with that all said, your next mod jump puts you about 10 minutes outside of Planet Nyx, and honestly, you arrive, and I need you to make a piloting check right now, Kala, as you drop out of dark matter warp and into a fucking hellscape.
Lovely. My favorite kind of arrival.
I'm so glad
I don't have my dice out.
Oh no!
Oh dear.
Sorry, I don't know why.
Can Willow aid? Can Willow give like a help for advantage, or would Kala not want her anywhere near the controls?
This is a reaction.
Oh, okay.
I'm giving Kala a chance to pull up.
Surprise.
21.
Okay. So what you see, just to sort of set the scene ahead of you, as you drop out of dark matter shift, you see a bunch of burning wreckage. There is the exchange of like blaster fire and some kind of weird plasma. It almost looks like fire but crawly. You see what looks like it used to be, or very recently was, a gnomish frigate, kind of in the shape of a hammer. It's got like a long engineering section and like a really wide, dense-looking forward section. Looks like it was designed to be a ram or like some kind of a hammerhead frigate. In any case, this thing is currently under assault by what look like honestly like flying icicles, gray white shards of shiny material that kind of leave like a little comet trail behind them and are trying to pierce through the armor of the ship. And there are spots where there is fire, and then suddenly there is an explosion, and the ship's like aft section goes up and starts shearing off away, and a large chunk of ship goes flying in your direction. Your quick reflexes manage to let you do a barrel, sort of a twisting roll, and you come up under the underside of it, and you scrape a little paint, but your ship doesn't manage to take any damage from it. The shockwave then buffets you, however, so I'm going to need everybody to make dexterity saving throws.
Can I?
Are you sure that I get to make one since I'm unconscious?
I hope you're strapped down.
I probably would have if we're going into space.
Well, you're already prone though, so it's like you can't get proner than you're going to be.
I
Okay.
just climb.
Yes, Caxos, your bug claws allow you to cling to the deck.
Okay.
It's a 14 for Willow.
Okay.
21. I'm gonna take that auto fail there, Chief, but I'm just strapped into a bed, so I'm not sure
Boom
if it
Squid, ever
matters.
sturdy, manages to keep their feet. Willow, you go down to a knee, but you manage to not go prone. Kella?
I did not mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry. I thought we were right there. 17 for me.
You manage to stay in your seat by the seat of your pants. Okay.
Rattle around.
So, yeah, the ship that you see in front of you now starts to list very badly, and you see the forward section, the lights flicker and go out. Behind and around you, now that immediate drama is done, you see the wreckage of a bunch of ships. This was a small battle fleet. In addition to the Gnomish ship, you can see the remains of a lot of human hegemony craft and some weird kind of bioorganic looking ships that you're not sure have been seen in this area for a long time. I need you to make me a knowledge history check, please.
Like any of us, or
Yeah. Anybody who's looking out the window, anyway. So not you, Val. You're.
Yeah, I didn't think I'd be doing that. I'm dreaming. Val hasn't like had proper dreams in a while because she don't sleep that much.
soft 20 for Willow.
Okay. Willow, you recognize the creepy white bone mold look of Wrothian tech. These are Wrothian fighters and a couple of larger ships. It looks like this was a small combat lance that was sent in and got intercepted by, judging from the way they're laid out, the wreckage, it looks like the gnomes and the humans were working together to defend against these Wroth. But everybody got tore up pretty good, and there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of surviving ships.
Like, does it look like the Roth are the ones that are most intact and they're coming?
It's not clear who the victors were. It doesn't seem like any of the capital ships survived. A few of the dogfighters are still like doing their thing to try and stave off those big icicles. But it's a losing battle. The Wrothian are only just holding numbers by single digits, if that.
Right.
So this has been just a hell of a war of attrition.
Dang. Yeah, Willow's gonna make her way up to the cockpit if she wasn't there already, and just get up by Cal and just go, "What do you think? Help pop a couple of them off. We just keep going." They look like they have it pretty well handled at the moment, but
Not our fight. No reason to join.
nah. I'm just saying, just figured I'd offer because never hurts to have friends in another city, and we don't want another incident like with the Lakshay.
Friends? Yes. In the middle of a war zone, we don't know who's friend.
Fair point as well.
Your nav chart does tell you, however, that Nyx is exactly on the other side of this battlefield from where you're on. And it's like, it would be a matter of like 2 hours north or south to fly around the debris field to a point where it wouldn't be hazardous.
Right.
I mean, we can see a planet, right? If it's like 2 hours away.
Yeah, it's about 10 minutes flight out in a straight line as the crow flies.
It's the astro.
Willow just looks at it and goes, "All right, kitty cat, you think you want to go for a little bit of a spin, or you want to take the long way?"
Will is asking to get her eyes clawed out. Holy shit.
Honestly, I would. Again, I'm glad I'm unconscious for what's about to happen next.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you want just to wait? You want to just take the long way around? Because we've got time. kill anyways. You gotta wait for Val.
Sorry, what did you call me?
I'm just saying I'm glad I'm unconscious for like.
Willow just smirks at Khaled. She's jealous. You can tell that she's just trying to be friendly. Little pilot banner.
Yeah. At least not for the kidding part. Someone else tried to call me that.
Willow thinks back. She's like, right, sorry, not funny. My bad. Try to remember for next time.
So over the comms link though, she would want to ask, at least this time around, before choosing what the party wants. That one unconscious, that needs to be either a tie or unanimous.
So what's the question? How do you phrase it?
Do you want to go through the wreckage, the cloud, to get 10 minutes to your destination, or like wait it out, or fly north or south of the ecliptic an hour to get out of the range?
You're fine.
I'll trust your judgment, boss. 10 minutes on fun. So.
How long has it been since Val was put under, by the way?
Oh, it's only been like, literally it's only been like 15-20 minutes since y'all took off and landed.
Right, yeah.
So she's still got like a day of recuperating to do.
Right. I say, I can't really speak for Val, but I think that she would want to be around if there's any action going. If we take 2 hours, that shaves 2 hours off of her wake-up time. So we would have her back sooner and have a little bit of Overwatch for whenever we land and with whatever's there.
Boom.
We need to kill a bunch of time anyways for Val to get conscious. Unless we want to go in one week. Let's just take the time.
Is Val poisoned? I asked him.
Not quite.
Because I can heal that.
I think it'd be better for this kind of poison to just stick around for a bit, Cax. She says
she needs to learn her lesson.
Yeah. Willow just pats when Curio says that, Willow's like, yeah, you know how some people only learn through a lot of trial and error and a lot of pain.
We have a lot of those in the cave, yeah.
Yeah, Val's kind of like that. I'm getting at the moment.
Okay, so I need, in that case, Kala, I need you to make me another piloting check to navigate through the wreckage of the explosion that's flying around you. It is very shrapnel-y through here, so like trying to navigate a safe course in any way except pretty much backwards is going to be more hazardous, but riding the periphery will seem to be the easier course for the most part.
27.
Okay, so the first chunk of large flying debris does scoot past. I need you to roll me a d6.
I'm at 6.
Okay. All right. So nothing happens yet. Make me a second check, please.
Piloting check.
Mm-hmm.
Dirty 20.
Okay. So as you make your second maneuver to get around this, it feels like you clip something on the wing, or something clips you, and you start losing engine power on the right side. The ship starts to list to the right, and the power flickers on the boat for a second, but then is restored almost immediately. Except you're seeing that the right engine is now cut out and needs to be effectively rebooted. Which engineering, like you have to like reset, like repair the system effectively.
Okay. Can I go ahead and make the roll to start repairing it?
Yeah.
27.
Jesus Christ. Ragtag group of specialized folk doing their specialized thing.
Mm-hmm. So with the lightning quick reaction times we've come to expect of a space cephalopod, Boom does manage to isolate and reset the problem fairly quickly. One more piloting check, please, as you start cresting the top of the debris field. Kala.
That come in Mass Effect to 26.
My God.
She's a pilot.
Indeed she is. So you start coming around the top of the debris field and everything looks pretty clear. And then a kind of shadow rises up out in front of you, and you see it's another large chunk of the hull of the engineering section. You do manage, however, to sort of twist dive and loop your way through what was a hole that wasn't there before, but you do manage to catch a stunning view of the interior of the engineering section of a Gnomish ship for just a split second, as you sail through unscathed, except for just slight scraping across the top of the hull as you catch one girder stray. It doesn't deal any more damage, but your shield points, you notice like you've lost a shield point for a moment. And it looks like pretty much clear sailing ahead for like the next foreseeable. So you guys can take a short rest and do the short rest thing just while Kala navigates you around. So what all is going on here?
Willow actually wants to queue up external cams to see what that thing was that might clip them. What she would have wanted to do that as soon as they got power back up on that side. See if there's anything like latched on that we might need to scrape off or anything.
So there looks like the remnants of like that weird white ice stuff, and there's a couple of fresh scrape marks on the hull. Make me an insight check.
Alrighty, insight 21.
Okay. It looks like whatever it was a kind of a glancing blow almost, or at least it hit you obliquely, but not hard enough to actually pierce through the hull. A lucky shot, if so.
Alright, let's satisfy that curiosity. Willow's gonna tap off the cams and go back and check on Val real quick. I'm assuming he's still knocked unconscious.
I would say yeah, probably slept through the whole thing.
Good.
Okay.
You're good.
Anything else doing on the short rest?
No.
How about y'all first?
I mean, unless I can regain some of them hit points now.
Okay.
Just babying the dying engine.
That's me.
Mine.
Wait, what?
The dying engine.
Oh, I thought you said infant for a second.
No.
Okay, Kala, I need a perception check from you since you're the one at the helm.
I'm sorry, a what check?
A perception check.
Ironically. 17.
Okay, you notice, basically as you come around like the top of this debris field, that there is a what looks almost it looks almost like a hole in the debris. Kind of the explosion patterns have sort of opened up a little well, and you see that there's like a shortcut through the main field of the debris that will get you. It'll probably cut down your travel time by about half.
I'll take it.
Okay. Go ahead and make me another piloting check, please. Just to get through the last vestiges of the debris before you hit the calm zone.
Oh.
Okay. Well, it's still enough. The debris here is rather thinner. It looks like a little bunch of like smaller bits. The main larger pieces have kind of moved on by. But suddenly your entire console goes dark in front of you, and you feel very strange as all of your implants that you have on suddenly kick out, and the ship sort of stops. It drifts to a halt, and the aft end of the ship, the power is out. The darkness spread through the ship like a wave, and now the front end, from about just forward of engineering, like into the main crew section, is powered, but the aft is just dead. So engineering is offline, the cargo holds are offline, and all of you, as that darkness passed through, all of you noticed the effect it had on your implants and your technology. Except maybe you, Caxaws, you may have just felt a momentary disconnection with your power, whatever it is that gives you your juice.
Okay.
Did Willow feel anything with her portal stuff?
You may have felt a lessening in the presence of that void, that vortex that you use. Like whatever sense she uses to try and navigate that would have like whited out momentarily. So extremely disconcerting experience. Anybody wants to make a history check, you can do it, but the DC is pretty low here, so.
Hopefully low. It's 11.
Yeah, well, you know what a dead magic zone is when you see one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Generally, the remnants of arcane warhead explosions and exploded dark matter engines, such as might have caused the big hole in the debris field here. So your ship is currently adrift with the ass end stuck in a hole, and the dark matter engine is unpowered right now. And you
Quick
have a
question.
yeah,
Sorry, I thought you were stopping.
I do that. So your question.
Wouldn't our forward momentum carry us forward out of the reach of said blackness?
So there's a funny story about that. The system that actually prevents you guys from getting pancaked against the back wall every time that you basically take off is currently what is dampening your inertia and keeping the back of you in the hole. So,
Dampening, not stopping?
well, it dampened it to the point that you slowed and kind of basically rolled to a stop. That's why you pushed through but weren't able to get all the way out of it. It ate your momentum. Because you were all moving at a velocity, right? And when you cut through, the engines were still going, but the dampener didn't need to be engaged because you were all moving at the same relative velocity, right? When it passed through, it was offline and back online in time, but then the engines caught it and it ate your velocity, but it saved you from the relative deceleration and getting splattered against the front wall. Space bullshit. This is the kind of technobabble they had to write about in Star Trek.
Oh yeah.
In short, we didn't die, but because we didn't die, we're stranded.
Mm-hmm.
What are y'all gonna do? I'm still napping.
Oh, and hang on a second. I forgot to mention the results of the great battle down below you that you were so assiduously avoiding. Okay. Score 1 for the Wroth. Score 1 for the Gnomes. Score 1 for the Wroth again. Ooh, they both fucked up. Okay, so at the end of this battle, there were simply 2 lone Gnomish cogfighters and like a wing of 4 of those weird icicles. And the icicles were basically chasing the cogs around in circles. It was like if you could have a heat-seeking missile that was also a comet, if that makes any sense. In the end, however, there was only one of those little comets left, and it shot off. Ooh. It shot off in your direction. It's about 10,000 feet away.
As in intercept core.
Mm-hmm. Basically, after the cogs were dead, it banked and started making a beeline for your ship.
We don't have to play dead in the water. We are. Is there any way to rig half the ship energy at all?
Well, you do have a forward-mounted cannon that is independent of the engine systems right now.
If forward mounted, wouldn't that push us back?
I mean, it might do, or it might just eat the thing that's in front of you. What?
Where's our 360 360 gun?
Well, it's mounted in a 360 turret position, so.
We're at on the ship. Is it stuck in the dark matter zone, or is it the dark magic zone?
Let's see here. You know what? It is your lucky day. In fact, you find that the controls for the autocannon are in fact hot still. The gunner's position in the cockpit is up, and it shows operational. The auxiliary power is offline, so if it takes a direct hit, the system's going to go down immediately. But
the whole system, or just the
whole weapon system? Yeah, the whole weapon system. So if the auto turrets go down, then the cannon goes down too. But basically, the primary fire control is still hot.
Okay,
gotcha. I'm assuming the shields are down.
Yeah, shield systems are down. Engine overcharge function is down. Zap crawls out from underneath the console and looks up at you, very confused, and whines. And there's no sparks.
Yeah, I bring Zap towards the front of the ship.
Okay. You see he's like trailing like a little dust of little gray metal silicon nanites.
Oh, magic nanites. Will's gonna look at Cal and just go, what do you think? Should we shoot him down or feign like we think they can take us? And then when they hop on, we jump them.
Sounds nice.
Not likely after a battle like that they want to try and board. I would prefer to start shooting as soon as.
All right, you're the boss. And she's gonna hop in the gunner's seat and then just go, Cax, got any bug magic?
Yeah, I don't understand the situation, so I will do anything the first one who gives me an order or a hint will get my help action.
Right. Will's just going to go, that thing you do that makes us shoot better. Can you do that?
Yeah, sure.
Alright, I'm going to need it.
I will bless Willow and Kala and...
Give it to the gunner.
I have
She
to
already
bless 3 people.
Yeah, he
did.
can bless 3. So.
Oh, my bad.
And the 3 of you are all in the same room in the ship as it happens, so that's fortunate as well.
Yeah.
Normally he gives Willow, myself, and Correos the bless, but you see,
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Alright. Time for shoot bangs.
All right. So with that being said, I need you to please roll initiative.
Initiative.
Everyone, right?
Yes, please.
Everyone conscious.
Everyone in combat.
I was about to say, I think I'm good.
That's a 6.
Okay.
I guess did not let
Well.
me roll initiative.
We died because I rolled a 6 also.
I keep running into this problem. It keeps not wanting to let me roll initiative.
I think that's because you don't have a controllable token on the battlefield. Let me make it so that everyone can control.
Just roll the d20.
Be 16.
18.
Okay. Will, you're up first.
Alright. Gonna, how far is the guy? Is he within range to shoot?
He is currently 10,000 feet and closing.
So he's not in range.
Not yet, no.
Right. Hold action to shoot whenever he gets in range.
Okay. Kala,
Want
you
to
can't
try-
move, so
I can't move the ship. I'm fairly certain I can get up out of the chair if I do.
yeah.
Right.
Most of your piloting actions are not going to help you here, though, so you may wish to take the other gunner spot.
Oh, really? I was thinking no. I actually want to look for some type of way. In scientific terms, I want to bypass something to give up.
Mm-hmm.
But I have no idea how to put that into words to actually do that thing underneath.
I think you just did.
You want to hotwire it.
Yeah.
Effectively. Even if I have to do it from somewhere else in the ship, but if I could do it from the cockpit.
Okay. I will say go ahead and make me a technology check at advantage, because this is this is subject matter you would have some expertise in. Not actual
You don't have
expertise, but
And I'm proficient with that.
You're blessed.
And I get a +4 on that.
Plus D4, not a
Plus
plus.
D4, that's what I meant.
Plus D4, yeah.
No, my proficiency is. Yeah. Anyways. So let's see here. 24.
okay. So your mind races for a hot second, and you come to the conclusion that the way that you can get power back to the ship would involve finding a different source of power that's not reliant on magic. Anything magical you bring into the dead magic zone is going to go out. Fortunately, you're in a debris field full of gnomish ships, which run on technology and are not subject to the limitations of dead magic zones.
Inside the ship.
There is nothing inside the ship that you're aware of at this time that would have power enough to boot up your engines, certainly.
Never mind.
Okay.
I had an idea, and then did not have the idea.
Actually, that just gave me an idea. How close is the nearest anything from our airlock?
Well, aside from this weird spiky comet, you have what looks like the chunk of that hammerhead frigate. It's about probably say about 5 minutes spacewalk time if you jetted on it and didn't let up.
Here's the question. Does Zazu create recoil?
It is force damage.
And it does push people. So technically you could use Zazu as a booster.
A real kick in the pants, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
I also do have explosives.
That is also
mine's-
true, and in space, no one can hear you scream. So
Now, you see, a spacewalk is literally what I designed Valor for, but you see, I'm kind of...
you had to go and get all gussied up and fancy, and
So I will go ahead and admit I don't mind putting explosives behind someone else's tail. Mine, however, is not going to be a guinea pig.
Right.
I do, however,
can reroll my tail.
Thank you, guys. I do, however, have a very unique idea to cut down my traversal time.
Okay.
So I guess my first action is to go ahead and get suited up for a space.
Alrighty then. Okay. So who of the two of you had the higher 6 in the initiative
Who's
order?
the higher dexterity between Koreos and Cactus?
I have +2 dex.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have like a plus nothing.
Also,
Oh no, I have a +1, but yeah, still.
Okay. So Boom Squid.
Yeah. So
Hey, is there enough power in my body to jumpstart this thing? Because I am an android. Well, I'm a cyborg.
No, because you need a power source so you can actually hook up to the ship.
Yeah, I've got slots.
You do not have enough power. I can just assume that right now.
Wait,
Also, I rolled an 18. I didn't for the initiative. We were rolling. I don't know. Did I go after Kala? Or
You're holding your action.
Oh right, yeah. Duh, brain. Yeah. Sorry, I'm sorry, brain.
You're alright.
You
I
can.
spaced for a second. My bad. Sorry, everybody.
That's that space madness gonna get you. Are you
Oh, yeah.
manning? Are you occupying the auto turret slot or the heavy cannon slot?
Auto turret.
Alrighty.
I guess I'll get into the heavy cannon slot.
Okay. And are you lining up a shot then?
Yeah,
Similar.
I'll line up a shot.
Okay.
So can I already take a shot, or do I?
Well, no, they're still not. They haven't moved on their initiative yet.
Yeah.
they're not in range.
They rolled for shit. So they're actually at the bottom of the initiative, which I guess makes it you, Caxos.
I'll help, because that's pretty much my space battle rotation. I bless and I help.
That's fair.
I love it. I absolutely love it. So I don't know. I will help. What can I help in? Because there's like the 2 gunners and where's Kala?
Kala's getting ready for a spacewalk.
Wait, can Scathari breathe in space?
No, but I can hold my breath.
I can breathe in space, but I feel it's more important to not let the people getting spacewalked get shot to shit.
I can breathe in space, but like, I'm still unconscious, so like I'll just be drifting like a piece of scrap metal.
Hey, just
I saw your text. I'm looking for the information.
I'll help Boom Squid. Like, so when they get really close, you shoot.
Yeah, got it.
No,
I love Cactus so much.
All right. So the ship, sorry, not ship, the icicle thing, it bears down and accelerates, and it moves on you like up to 3,000 feet. Like it's moving 7,000 feet this round. It's basically just bearing down straight at you. You can barely see it against the everything. Like it's got a really narrow profile when it's pointing right at you. But it does move within your firing range with about 500 feet in. So go ahead and Willow your held action.
All right. Oof, 6.
Okay, yeah, so that narrow
Wait,
profile
plus-
makes it a bitch to hit.
Got the 1d4.
Okay.
Not gonna change anything, I'm sure.
Well, that's a nat 1.
So it's a 10.
But we're not
But
doing
it's a nat
crit
1,
failure.
so yeah.
We're not doing crit failures on the ship weapon, so.
All right. So yeah, it just whiffs.
All right, yeah, so then Boom Squid, your held
Yep.
action on the cannon?
Yep.
Roll with advantage because I help.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
With advantage that hits. Yeah.
With advantage, yes, with advantage, your 21 would hit.
Mm-hmm.
So roll your 3d10. What is it, explosive damage?
I think it might be piercing. Double check. Yeah, let's make it piercing.
All right.
18.
Okay. Well, you definitely catch a solid chunk of it. It fishtails really violently for a hot second as you clip it, and it looks like it's starting to develop some real cracks along the seam. Not a detail you can really appreciate as it's bearing down on you, but there you are. Kala, we're back on the top of the initiative. Willow, you're up.
All right. Gonna shoot again at this guy.
Yeah, you can try again.
Yeah, try again. Yeah, I have this input correctly. 13.
Yeah, no. You're still not getting it. The shots kind of like pepper around it, but you don't manage to actually land a connection.
Damn it. Well, I was gonna just swear a little under her breath and actually, what can I do? What does that do again? I'm trying to remember something I think I get from Tasha's. I didn't think I'd take it because it didn't think it would work at the time.
Okay.
But it is an optional class feature. I can't do it this turn though, unfortunately. Dang it. So yeah, that's all I can do this turn.
Okay. All right. So, Kala, I'm just gonna let you know. It's gonna be like donning a life suit is gonna be like just like an actual action. Okay. It's not gonna be hella complicated. But it does take up like your whole last action to get up and get down there and get it on. So, that being said, you're suited up now. What do you want to do?
For the closest airlock.
There's the one, and it's the only one, and it's in the front of the ship. So are you okay? So you're heading outside?
That's the plan.
Okay.
Now, am I going to be able to make it outside on this turn?
I'll say yeah. You can go ahead and make it to the ship's exterior, but you'll end your turn just outside of the ship's airlock.
Okay. Then, as I'm racing past back towards the airlock, I just mentioned to the crew, "I'll be right back."
Oh boy. Yeah. So yeah, the as the airlock shuts behind you, and like depressurizes, the hatchway opens and you pull yourself out. So you can the exterior hatch is going to be open for you, so you can pull yourself back in. But you are currently under the effects of zero gravity, which the zero grav rules are on 294. Okay. As are the vacuum rules. So if you want to know what happens to you if your suit rips, it's that. Well, you're the one that wanted to go for a walk.
I'm paid for a walk.
In a firefight. All right, so with that all being said, yes, okay. And Kella and... okay, Boom Squid?
Yeah, I'm going to take another shot.
Alrighty.
The heavy cannon.
Hits. Roll that beautiful bean footage.
11.
Okay. Yeah, you're really getting some solid licks in here. Between the first one and that second one, you look like you have probably sheared away fully half of this thing's mass. And looks like it's starting to break up, and you can see like the fracture lines are actually like clearly visible now, like on the targeting HUD. Caxos, are you just gonna help some more?
Yes, I want to help Willow.
Okay. All right. So on its turn, it dives and it tries. Well, basically, it tries to ram you, but that second shot caught it really kind of broadsides, and yeah, it skids past, and basically Kala, it almost gives you a really nice haircut as it zips past you. So it's actually moving at a range. Let me just go ahead and grab everything in here. It's moving so fast and so erratically that it overshoots all of you by about 2,000 feet, and you see it start to bank and come around for a second pass.
Is it close enough to see the rude gesture I made as it went?
Also,
Wait, if it's behind us.
yeah, as it goes to the magic zone.
Yeah, so it you notice that when it goes into the magic zone, like if you're on the auto turret HUD, so you'll be able to track this to see it. You notice that the little comet trail that it had stops spinning, like it stops spitting that stuff out, but its momentum doesn't seem to have been arrested at all. So it just keeps moving like you would expect a body in space to move. But when it drifts through and hits the other side, it picks back up and starts coming around.
Damn aerodynamic function.
So now it's behind you and just at the perimeter of your functional range. So like it's just inside your first increment, range increment.
Okay.
Top of the initiative again, Willow.
All right, so I don't really need to do that thing that I was going to do because I'm getting the help action. So I will have advantage on this shot cycle.
In plain sight, like shoot at it.
How did I roll double 11s?
That's outstanding.
That is bullshit.
Oof.
That is.
I mean, the universe truly wanted you to just be a little above average.
Whiff it.
Well, honestly, like you learned something. However, you realize that your targeting wasn't quite on point. Like you pulled the trigger just a little hair too soon. But you realize as you bring your autocannon to bear on this thing as it's coming back around through what apparently was that dead zone space, your turret spits fire and the bolts disappear halfway across the intervening space.
That's interesting.
So you're shooting at this weird comet thing, and your bolts are disappearing as they hit the perimeter of the dead magic zone.
That's nice.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all I can do.
All right. Next up, Kala.
Okay. So here's what I wanted to ask as far as my movement is concerned.
Go ahead.
Zazu, force cannon.
Sure.
Will it push me in the opposite direction, considering it does push back anything that gets hit by it?
I will say, for the purposes of this, the recoil effect is a magical effect, and you'd have to basically shoot the ship itself to get yourself launched off of there, but it's not necessary. You literally can just shove yourself off.
Okay. That will give me for my next turn.
Alternatively, you could put Zazu on the ship and mount her as an emplacement weapon and have it shoot you.
No. Yeah, no. There's
That'd
a reason
work.
I did not put that suggestion out.
Hey,
no,
is her grappling arm working? Right
As
now?
long as she stays as long as she stays in the front of the building or the ship, yeah.
you people would stop interrupting me. That's exactly what my next question was going to be.
Okay.
Sorry.
You're fine. There's debris in between me and the point of the Magitech I'm going for that has power, correct?
It's technology, and saying that there's debris in the space in between you and the remains of the hammerhead, it's accurate, but also completely unhelpful because it's definitely beyond your 30-foot cable arm movement.
Yes, but if I'm able to angle myself to get a shot to land on that, I can then use that as a ricochet, so where I can shoot Zazu directly at it and double my backward speed.
So you're trying to leapfrog off of debris by blasting it and thus yourself backwards?
If it gets me there quicker.
Interesting approach.
There is one thing I want to do before I do that, though.
All right.
I'm activating my energy shield, just in case.
That's good. That's smart. All right, so I'll tell you what. Were you intending to use like your original movement to try and get to a piece of debris?
Original movement, grappling arm, Zazu, and any combination that can get me there the quickest and
all right,
without as much of a risk of flying off into the.
Well, okay, so it's going to be a non-zero chance of that, because you're just in space. That's what happens out here. Is sometimes shit goes sideways. However, in terms of you trying to leapfrog from debris to debris, you've got a ways to go, and it'll definitely take a couple of initiatives rotations to get there. But I will say that you can make it the nearest even feasible thing that would be big enough for you to land on that isn't screaming past at relativistic velocities. It looks like it's about 100 feet away, so you can push off against your ship, but I need you to make an acrobatics check to judge and pitch your jump correctly so that you don't go spinning off.
Now, I do also want to ask this before I make my roll.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm actually no, yeah. If everything that you told me sticks, then even if I do go flying off, as soon as my next turn goes around, I can just shoot Zazu and push myself back into it.
Yeah, but trying to correct by autocannon is going to be a pain in the ass. Just know that.
I mean, it's that way.
I didn't say that it wasn't, but
17.
all right. Okay. And you're using your grappling arm at the end of your movement to try and grab a hold of it so you stop moving and can set your next jump?
Correct.
Okay. All right. So you're gonna be holding your action for the next action. Two actually. The next two actions. before you get within range of that object. So if you fire your autocannon, or if you fire your Zazu at anything in that interim time that's not at the ship that you're pointing away from, it's going to alter your trajectory and will fuck up your flight. So bear that in mind.
Yep.
So that's your turn. Boom Squid, you're locked into the heavy cannon that is facing the other direction as the thing that is
Correct.
trying
So
to
I'm
kill you.
just gonna ready an action for if it comes into the actual firing arc.
Alrighty. Okay. Caxaw's helping?
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
Who are you still helping, Willow, or?
sure.
Okay.
Well, no, Boom's good because I.
Okay. All right. Well, in that case, the weird comet thing, as it comes around and gets its bearings, you see it seems to have lost some of its momentum. So it doesn't seem like it's going as fast as it was before, but it's still. It managed to roll a 1. So as it's coming back around and you see it start to like jet out gas, that accelerant effect again, right? It comes up and you see it rushing back up towards you on that collision course, and basically as it's cresting like the first, like just about to touch nose to tail, a piece of like a shard of debris from the wreckage comes flying out of fucking nowhere and T-bones this thing, taking the tip of it right off, and it goes spinning off into the black, crackles and shatters and explodes into like a glittering dust. And you see very faintly spinning off into the void what looks like a Wrothian taker. Well, now kind of blown into bits, but around that comet dust you see the remains of a Wrothian taker in the cockpit of what was apparently a new type of landing craft for them. So the last Wrothian is dead. Kala is currently on a spacewalk. You all are off initiative. Well done, all.
Before we get to anything else, I want to be petty. Willow's going to aim at the corpse with the autocannon.
Okay. It's your turn.
All right, and I'm going to use my new thing from Tasha's the Rose Gets, steady aim, to give myself advantage.
Okay, have at it.
It's actually really cool.
Mm-hmm. Use as a bonus action on your turn, as long as you haven't moved within. As long as you haven't moved this turn, and you can only. After my speed is 0 until the end of my current turn. 18.
Cool.
I'm just not gonna roll damage. It's dead. I'm just gonna blow it.
I was
to
gonna say,
pieces.
you believe it or not, your shot does manage to clip the taker with the autocannon, and sure enough, it also explodes in a path and a flare.
Willow just in a little almost bratty huff just pops her collar, just like it was a point of pride after missing that shot.
I love it. All right, so now we're off initiative. We can get out of the space battle map and get back to
Cats in space.
Yes.
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 All right, Scav Cats. So you guys are right about here. That's dead.
This is all black to
The
us?
map is all black.
Yeah, it's all just a black
Well, that's
rectangle.
because you're in the black.
Well, that would explain a thing or
That
two.
would explain it. It does mean that you pointing out bits of the map to us
Means
is
nothing.
pointless.
Not helpful. I understand.
So if we can't see it, don't worry.
I have the dynamic lighting turned off. I don't know why it keeps doing this.
Roll 20 is just a bitch sometimes.
It is.
All right. So, yeah. So you have about 500 feet of stuff to move through here, Kala. You managed to get pretty close, like just in terms of where it's been drifting to you. It occurs to you that perhaps if you had hung out here for like another 5 minutes or so, that the wreck might have come to you. But well, you're in it now. So, now that we're off of initiative, I'll just let you go ahead and make your checks and describe how you want to transmit yourself from your ship to the wreckage here.
I'm in the spotlight.
Hey, you got to pay the cost to be the boss.
So what's my first check?
Well, the first thing you'll need to do, uh, go ahead and make me an athletics check to see if you can grapple onto the asteroid or to the debris. Because your
Acrobatics
jump
or
was
athletics?
well, no, your jump was good. It got you within range, but you're not perfectly on the dot, so you don't actually land on it. You have to utilize your grappling arm to make the catch to pull yourself into it. So a grapple check, grab and hold on to the debris. This is
So athletics.
athletics for this, yes.
Okay. Well, that's a nat 20, so 23.
Well, shit. Okay. Like a cat, of course, you do manage to launch your arm and get a firm grip of a passing door handle of all things, and reel yourself into a section of bulkhead that had a corridor and a doorway and what looks like maybe with some lockers here. It's rotating pretty aggressively when you get to it. So this next check that you're going to be making to jump from there to your next location, which is a slightly larger piece of flotsam that looks like it may have once been part of a security segment or a bulkhead. It's really heavy reinforced metal here. So you will be making your next acrobatics check at disadvantage unless you can figure out a way to slow down this rotation.
My first and probably most obvious question, can I use Zazu?
Ooh. So
On the counter spin, if I fire,
I was gonna say make an intelligence check with proficiency.
18.
All right. So now, having set your objective, you determined that you can time this to do like a bit of a slingshot with yourself, but it's going to require some very exacting timing. So it will be possible for you to launch, having shot the debris as your target and repelling yourself that way, but you'll still be moving in an arc as opposed into a straight line, just because of what?
That wasn't my question. I want to stop the spinning of the rotation of this debris to give me a more stable jump.
You won't have anything really to repel against on this case, just because of the way that the cannon's magic bullshit works.
But I'm grappled onto the debris. If I'm the anchor point and I'm shooting using Zazu's force to push me grappled onto the debris,
it would take about probably 3 or 4 shots just to get all the axes like straightened out and you kind of on a steady case. It's spinning pretty aggressively.
I'm not in any type of rush anymore. I'm assuming I saw the ship was void.
Okay, so in that case, go ahead and make me 3 attack rolls. The first one's going to be at disadvantage just because you're moving so damn fast, and this primarily be one to put the brakes on.
Actually, no, wait. Would that be using Zazu's stat block?
Well, it's the autocannon stat block, but if you're trying to fire it manually, if you're going to override the fire controls, you can just go ahead and use your own weapons mods, use your dex at proficiency.
16.
Okay. You put a little bit of a new wobble onto it, but you do manage to spin it down, so your next attack will be just a flat roll.
Especially when it comes up with a 17.
Okay. So you've just about got it stable enough to where you think you could make a straight line jump without having to fuck with angles and things. So go ahead and make your third check at a flat roll.
12.
Well, it's a good thing you already took care of the other 2 axes first. You don't manage to stop it, but you do manage to get yourself in a position where you think that you could catch it in a straight line on the next revolution. So you've got this spinny ball slowed down enough to where you can make your next jump. So athletics.
15.
Okay. Fortunately, this is a much larger piece of shipwreck than you had before, and you notice as you clamber onto it that you don't even have to get to the hull section of the main part of the ship, because this interior chunk that you've got a hold of here seems to have what looks like it used to be part of the engine room. So you see like a big sign in like right in front of you, like on the way the hull is sheared away, like there's a stack. You can basically see like stacks of decking, right, like ship's decks, And so as you approach, you do see like emblazoned on the wall on one side, it's like main engineering, and you can see in the one segment that's a little ways away from you, probably about, let's say, 3 decks up and probably about 100 feet away, would be where they keep, it looks like, some very powerful main drive batteries.
That sounds like a target.
So you do get a visual on that on your approach. Now, where you landed was effectively like, imagine like one of those Game and Watch titles or a side scroller where they have like Burger Time or something, where you have a lot of horizontal decks and intersections where you only have like ladders in so many places. That's kind of what you're landing on right now, right? It's a big sheared away deck face of a ship, and there's like access ports and turbo lift shafts going up and down in places, but a lot of it's fucked up and on fire, and other pieces are just rent. So you're going to have to basically clamber over and either run along the exterior or navigate through the corridors to reach the battery storage area.
See no problems with it. I can effectively just crawl around the hull.
Okay, so you're going around the outside?
Oh, no, I meant I could just crawl along whatever surface I need. Like I'm in a rush and I'm not trying to make any
Okay, so
acrobatics.
but my question to you now is, are you going through the exterior, like trying to climb around it to reach the battery storage area, or are you going through the corridor's interior? Like, are you going through the ship or around the outside of the ship?
It'd be better to go.
Alrighty.
I don't like heights.
Well, I'm not going to limit you, like, just from a movement speed perspective, but I will say that when you get in there, you notice almost right away that this section was hit pretty hard by Roth spikes. You can see a lot of sections of the exterior hull have been punctured, and there are shards of this weird white crystal stuff littering the ground in a lot of places. There are some dead Wrothian in the corridors kind of floating. The power to this section seems like it's intermittent. Every once in a while, the lights will come back on, and you feel a brief tug as if the automatic gravity is trying to come back on, but it can't quite get there. So it seems like there may be some remaining actual power left in this part of the ship, just on some auxiliary systems.
I've seen enough horror movies to know that bullshit. I'm going to turn them around and go around the hull.
Okay. As you turn around and go out the hull, you don't hear anything because you're in a vacuum and it's space. But I want you to make a perception check for me anyway.
19?
You thought you saw a humanoid figure standing in a doorway as you turned to go at the end of the corridor.
Standing as in presumably conscious and awaiting.
It's hard to tell, really. I mean, you saw it, but it was through a lot of, like, smoke and no gravity, so it's billowing in every particular direction at once, and there's fire everywhere, and honestly, it was just more of a shape than anything else. But it did appear to be, when I say standing in the doorway, like, it appeared to be upright for the most part. It appeared to have 4 limbs of some sort. Hard to really get a read on how beefy this individual may have been, but it was definitely bipedal, and it was not. It didn't have the seeming of a dead body just hovering in space.
Like I said.
All right. So you're going back out in the exterior, going around?
Yes.
All right. So in that case, I will need another athletics check from you as you clamber and climb your way around the outside. Okay. So your first experience with climbing around the wreckage on the outside is exciting, but only in the conventional sense of, oh, I need to not go that way because it's on fire, or hey, this is not a load-bearing structure, I should not try to swing off of it. You make some decent headway, but you realize that the way that the hull was torn into, you're going to have to go back inside at some point, and the actual storage compartments are not, in fact, exposed to space. So you will have, at some point, to go back inside the interior at least a little ways. You do find, however, at the end of that check, you managed to make it so that you think there's probably about only like 50 feet between the nearest hole that you can reach and where you think you ought to be going.
Is this closer to or further away from assumed location of?
It's kind of catty corner. Like looking at the way that the deck plates were arranged, it looks like you've managed to find yourself a diagonal approach that's more efficient directionally to taking you towards the batteries, but it also goes around the outside of the hull, so you're not in as deep as you could be. We'll say it definitely would go around and be on a different floor than whatever it was you think you saw in the hallway. All right, so you managed to get back inside. Climbing through this hole, you realize that this is one of those puncture marks from one of the Roth sickles. And sorry, just checking the Discord chat there. That's funny. You see that there is the corpse of a dead dwarf holding what looks like a massive fuck off gun, but you're not instantly familiar with what type of gun it is. It looks very technological and not at all some of the kind of magic tech that you're familiar with, but it looks very, very large and hella impressive. And on the other side of the room from where you came in is a dead Roth with a hole blown clean through its torso and the back wall behind it. And I just lost my connection. Whoop. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And we're back.
I was afraid I was through.
You have died.
I
Okay.
apologize, everybody. I am trying to.
No, it's fine.
You're good.
You managed to be doing the right thing, but like you're the only one that can right now. So, so yeah, as you make your way into the corridor, you do find pretty directly the auxiliary power room, for lack of a better term. It is a large storage area with bank upon bank upon bank upon bank of these large, very heavy looking industrial sized batteries, right? And the damage in this area is light to moderate. The storage area doesn't seem to be in any imminent danger of leaking or exploding, thankfully. However, you do notice that some of the batteries have been compromised, and basically they're only running about two active cells that you think you could salvage and actually get any use out of.
After seeing that, I do want to ask myself, do I think it's possible to carry the gun and a bat?
You think that you're going to need like a tensor's disc and a sled and like an hour or so of work to try and wrench these things out and move them. Like, this is going to be an operation. Make me a technology check at disadvantage because this is not your native stuff.
17.
Okay.
First one was a dirty 20.
All right. So your knowledge of ship systems assists you in this, but it's all very foreign tech. You think you can figure out, without killing yourself, how to disconnect this from their auxiliary power systems. You definitely can figure out how to disconnect it physically from the rest of the ship and be able to transport it around. You're less certain about your ability to patch it into your own systems and make it work, but at this point it seems like it's probably your best shot. You do think it'll take about an hour's worth of work using a ship maintenance toolkit to disconnect the batteries from the auxiliary hold and getting them free. That was some very smart forethought on your part. So are you just like radio silent this entire time?
It's probably not a good idea to do that since I'm probably out of visual range.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'd pop on for just a quick second to let everybody know that I'm working. Click.
Okay, so you are currently in a very heavily shielded area. I will say, Boom Squid, since you were the one, well, actually, you and Willow are both on the gunner positions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so well, I think Willow went to go get up and check on Valerie, so I think Boom Squid, you'd be the most likely to hear this. You catch about half of what was said there. You hear like batteries and like screw and like what, and so it's not entirely clear communication. But your comms are up, so you can try and answer her if you want to.
Alan, you need a hand out there?
You are able to hear this more clearly because their signal gain is a lot higher and can penetrate that shielding better.
Do we have any stability of getting someone else out here?
So you basically hear her asking if you can get someone else out there.
I mean, I can go slow. My suit acts as a vac suit.
And I bought a life suit, a gnomish life suit as well, in case that magic zone. I know they drift slowly, so I could go out in that in case something weird happens.
So while Kala has been clambering around the exterior of the ship and picking her way around and taking the safe route, this piece of debris has been kind of drifting slowly closer towards you guys. So the spacewalk from your ship to that debris is a fairly straight line now. Since we're off of initiative order, we'll just say is you can make the check without having to do any fancy tricks. It's big enough that you can hit it without having to aim too hard. And if anybody has, jet boots or a jetpack or any of that mess, you can use those to help propel you in a given direction.
If nobody does, I would make the suggestion of just being ready to plunk on the hull to receive as I come back with the battery. I don't mind doing it by myself as a character, but wouldn't want to risk somebody trying to jump and fuck up. So effectively, your discretion.
I'll stay and start prepping the ship systems to receive these batteries.
Okay, so Kala, working alone, it does take you that full hour to disconnect them. Thankfully, the gravity has not yet come back online here. And when you pull the second battery, the lights entirely go out in this sector. Seems like this auxiliary battery was what was keeping the lights on in this area. And now everything except for the few remaining chemical fires in this area, it's pitch black and completely quiet. So you have now two, huge, the size of a full-on, medium-sized humanoid at least, and, probably a good 300 or 400 pounds of mass, floating free in the auxiliary battery bay here with you. So I'm going to need you to athletics that shit and try to figure out how to wrangle it out to the exterior.
So just the athletics check?
Yes, but I would appreciate if you could describe to me how you plan to actually shift these things.
Okay, before I make the check, I'm trying this one out. Are the damage spots, are they large enough to push them through even just one at a time?
So if you're referring to the holes in the hull exterior, yes. The Wrothian holes in the hull are big enough to shove one of these auxiliary batteries through. It will need to be one at a time, but yeah, you can make it.
Yeah, I guess the first thing that I do is ready over for Willow on the ship's hull, but I definitely would want to try and get one at a time.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, go ahead and make your athletics check for wrestling those things out the door. In the meantime, everybody queue up the Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy from the Nutcracker Suite, because this is a lot of bodies in motion, and we're going to be doing some 2001 shit up in here.
So 17 on the...
All right. You bang up the frame a little bit on the way out, but yeah, dwarf make is sturdy shit, and it just kind of glances off. Seems like it scuffed the paint on the wall more than it did the battery. They make these casings really tough. You do manage to get the first one outside, and if not drifting away, at least it's just kind of resting alongside of the rest of the debris, and not trying to get away from you actively.
I do want to make a quick question.
Yep.
That fancy gun that you were talking about before. Was that larger than a rifle, or are we talking something I could go back and...
It's best described as a damn hand cannon. Yeah.
I want to go back for it. Just real quick before shooting out the battery.
All right, you can clip it to your webbing pretty easily and secure it to your person.
Okay. I just imagine popping my head up just a grappling arm or grappling hand, pulling.
Okay, fair.
Fries.
The dead dwarf does not offer up any resistance.
That'd be scary.
Yeah. So yeah, you managed to get the first battery out, and the second one comes with no trouble either. However, you are now drifting perilously close to the nose of the hero's journey. You realize this thing is moving a little bit faster than maybe you thought at first, and as it becomes closer, you realize that you've only got like one shot at this, and the hero's journey is going to be overshot here very shortly, and you're heading in the wrong direction. So I need you two to go ahead. Yeah, you and Willow. I need you to both roll me 2d6 and give me the numbers individually.
2d6 each or 1d6 per person?
Individually, 2d6. And just DM me the results. Thankfully, we have silence editing, so this whole thing will be truncated. All right. January?
Yeah, I DM'd it to you on Discord.
Oh, okay. I was looking in the Zoom. Thank you.
Oh, I can do it on Zoom too.
It's all right. I got it. Now that I know where I was looking for it. Okay, what were your individual scores, though?
Oh, okay. Do you want me to just DM that too?
Yeah, please. Okay, so almost miraculously, in fact, you two managed to synchronize your actions and to hand off an almost flawless transference of these two massive fucking batteries. Willow, the momentum of the things almost takes you off your feet, but you managed to retain your footing on the deck plates and not get strewn away. Kala, you managed to hand off the two batteries, but then you find yourself kind of drifting away with the other ship, or with the other piece of debris. You haven't
close?
gone very far. Yeah, well, like within movement speed. So if she decides to disembark now, she would probably be able to make it back on her own movement.
Okay.
Of course. And then I've also got the grappling arm.
Right. So as that very large piece of flotsam starts pulling away, I need Kala and Willow to make me perception checks, please. Okay. Willow?
And 21.
All right, so you both see this. As that piece of wreckage sort of like spins around and like catches the light in a new angle, you see clambering over the ruined face of the deck another Wrothian taker, followed by 3 Wrothian failures. And they're moving in a pack formation around the hull and like skittering on all fours in your direction.
Fuck.
On the piece of...
They're on the debris. Roll initiative, you two.
Right. No.
Okay.
My dice rolls are insane
16.
because almost everything I have is a
Okay.
+3, +4, or is a saving roll of...
What's your... Okay, damn, that's... Yeah. Damn. What's your dex mod, Willow?
4.
Shit. Okay, so it is you, Kala, and then Willow, and then the baddies again. Are you going to alert anyone on the inside?
Either of us?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Willow is going to get on comms and say, Wrothians in space. You have Wrothians in space. Can you shoot the cannon and get them away from us? Because they're on the front of are they facing the front of us or the side of us?
Well, the autocannon can hit him.
Autocannon. All right.
It has a line of sight.
Okay.
So, okay. Kala, I'll let anybody that wants to join the initiative can come in on their next round.
Are you
So,
sure about that?
You're sleeping.
Val comes back to life.
I'm
Just to
sorry, I just needed to do that.
Sorry, it's been a quiet day for you.
Very much so.
Is anyone else going to join the combat
Yeah.
initiative?
I'll join combat initiative.
All right, go ahead and roll in.
I'll help.
All right.
Can you see us out of the hole? And how long are the ranges blessed?
No, Bless is already gone.
Oh, can you cast it again? Like, is it sight or is
Yeah.
it touched?
I was gonna say is
But-
that if he looks out the viewport, he could probably see you in the airlock area.
It's a 30 feet thing.
Okay.
That would be enough.
Okay. Then I will Bless and help. But my initiative is... Well,
It's 12.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're 4th in line, and Boom Squid
7.
5th. Okay, cool. So appropriate. Kala, you're up. You have a Wrothian taker and 3 failures skittering over the hull at you. They are currently about 100 feet and closing as the crow flies.
How large is that piece of?
Probably I would say about the size of a small house.
Do I think if I could hit it with Zazu, that it would make it?
No, not the debris. It's just too much mass for that thing to push around.
Well, I've got Zazu and I've got my gun.
Yep.
How close are they standing together?
They are about between 10 and 15 feet apart from each other. It's hard to stay in a tight pack when you're clambering over walls.
Well, if that's the case, I'm gonna go ahead and have Zazu shoot with my bonus action. I want to hit Taker.
Alrighty. Go ahead and roll to hit for me.
Hey, Ewis?
Yeah?
I'm just in case I miss it. It is just a straight roll for the Eldritch Cannon.
No, it's with your wisdom. No, intelligence modifier.
Oh.
It's like a spell attack.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, so +4 then. 16 hit.
Okay. Just hits. So Zazu manages to catch him like in the shoulder, it looks like. Roll to damage.
2 neat, and if it's a crit, 12.
Oof. Okay. And so yeah, it catches it in the shoulder and shoves it back up against the wall behind it. However, it reaches back with its claws and basically grips the wall that it lands on, and it's not impressed. It took the shot, but it's not impressed.
No, but that means he's 5 feet closer to some of his friends, yeah?
He's 5 feet lateral from where you shot him, but his friends were like above and off to the side, so he didn't actually move much closer just based on the way you shot him. So he's still at most 10, or at the very least he's still 10 feet off from any neighbors.
Okay, well then he's gonna hate me a lot more because I'm gonna use my action to fire a chromatic orb at him.
Alright, roll your 2 hit. And you said that was 12 with the first shot?
Yes.
Okay.
5 and 7. 22.
Okay, yeah, that definitely gets it.
These takers,
Uh-huh.
are they more flesh or more metal?
Not metal. These are Wrothian, not cyber demons. So
Okay.
think like big bony exoskeletons and exposed musculature, big fangly grinny teeth, weird drapey leather skirts, and big golden hoop earrings on like a skull that looks like a hammerhead crossed with an Evangelion.
So kind of like Lord Zed.
Kind of,
Whoa.
but like
Bony.
if Lord Zed had those weird like fly eyes that go like out to here.
Yeah.
Okay, I apologize. I probably should have specified my attack type before, but the reason I ask that is because if it's fleshy and bony, it's acid attack.
Sure. Okay. Well, go ahead.
3d8. 16 acid.
Okay. Oh. Ouch. Okay. So you do splat it solidly with the acid ball, and yes, the acid does sizzle and hiss most satisfyingly, but then the Wrothian taker hisses right back. Of course, in space, no one can hear you hiss, so it's not that impressive.
I mean, we can hear him. He's on a Zoom call with us.
Not you hiss. Speaking,
I just now got that. Fuck.
It's too good.
that was funny. I like that. All right, Will, you're up.
Okay. Just for funsies, I'd like to note that I have Tchaikovsky's Waltz of the Flowers playing, like on that one episode of Cowboy Bebop.
Nice. Perfect.
Okay, but yeah, these guys, how far away are they again?
They are 100 feet in closing.
Right, 100 feet in my range with my Storm Pistols. Range is double with that. Good grief. Why does it not say that on my level 20?
Oh, the one that Callus shot is 105 feet.
It's so weird that it doesn't have that doesn't show range for my ranged weapons.
Is it in like your range in? Are you talking about in roll 20? Didn't have your ranges?
Yeah, it's not showing my range on them because I had to move my attacks from one thing to another, but it doesn't even show range on them for the range weapon section. It's like I'll fix this. Or I'll find it, I should say. Weapons. Because I know my ranges actually are different because I'm a swarm fighter because of that feat. Come on, load PDF. It's on my tablet, so it's
okay. Like I said, we can truncate silences, so
right.
Dead air disappears.
Okay, yeah. All right. So I'm going to take aim with one of my swarm pistols, and I'm going to use that nice new rogue feature from Tasha's called steady aim. So I'm going to give myself advantage on this shot with my bonus action, so long as I don't move. And this guy is within 180 feet of me, right?
Correct.
Okie dokie. So, all right. So that is a 17.
Does hit. Are you hitting one of the takers, or are you hitting the
big
taker,
guy.
or okay? So the taker, yeah.
Yeah, the taker. So, and because I have an advantage, I get sneak attack, right?
Yeah. Sure enough.
Wait, did it actually roll this? Didn't attack for me? No, it doesn't roll a sneak attack for me. Okay. So 10 total damage to this guy, radiant damage.
Ooh, excuse me. 10 all day.
Yep, 10 all day.
That's with your weapon and sneak attack.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Yeah. You catch him a solid shot with your swarm pistol. Like almost he didn't expect it to come out of nowhere like that.
Right.
But he's aware of you now.
All right. That's all I got.
All right. Now with that all being said, it's their turn. Yeah. So they are going to actually use their movement to move another 30 feet closer to you, and then they are going to take a flying jump. So the four of them, almost in synchronicity, like run forward, and as the leader takes a leap, the failures like gather themselves for a second and then jump out behind him, and they are now currently flying through the black at you and at your ship. The four of them, and that's their action. So, Caxos, you see out of the window, you see your compatriots have managed to land 2 solid shots that look like on the nearest bad thing, and then they have taken flight and are now jumping at your ship. They're still a little ways away though.
I mean, since there's no way I can melee them, I will bless Willow, Kala, and Boom Squid.
Okay.
And that's my action.
Cool. Alright, and speaking of Boom Squid, you're up.
Yeah, so I'll move up to the autocannon turret, and whatever I can shoot from there.
Okay, so you are trying to hit non-mega scale targets with a ship cannon.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that you may make an attempt, but you will be doing it at disadvantage because these are very small targets and they don't really... you're basically going to have to do this on manual. There's nothing for the targeting systems to really grab a hold of here.
But you have the 1d4.
I do have the 1d4.
You do have the 1d4.
So that's a... Pretty sure that's a hit. That's a 19.
Yeah, okay. Roll me a d4, please.
3.
Okay, so your autocannon fire basically plays across the general area where they are, and you catch one of the failures directly, and it vaporizes instantly. So there are now 2 failures and 1 taker flying through the black at your ship. And we are back on top of the initiative, Kala.
Okay, I do have to ask a quick question.
Mm-hmm.
For the physics of it,
Okay.
my caster gun
Okay.
firing my spells.
No impact. No physics are applied here.
No. Let me finish. The question is, if the spell specifies it originates from me,
Yeah.
does that still mean it's only from me? The shell is just catalyst?
For the purposes of... I'm not sure exactly what you're asking, but for the purposes of execution, spell shells function exactly like a charge, and it's like a spell slot or a scroll if they're a consumable like that. So, yeah, they still come from you.
Shit. Okay. Because that would have been an awesome use of Thunderwave.
Sadly, no.
Oh well. I will hit the remaining failures with Zazu.
Okay.
Or attempt to, anyway.
Sure. Roll your 2 hit.
That's a dirty 20.
Cool. So pick 2 or 3.
Let's go with 2.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Just did 10.
All
First.
right.
And 5 feet back.
So, not so much 5 feet back as now adrift in space. The Wrothian failure that you hit looks massively surprised and is currently sort of spinning gracelessly through space. And honestly, it's kind of just flailing its arms and legs. And you imagine it would probably be screaming if it could, or if you could hear it. Willow.
Right.
Action.
Oh, I'm sorry. By all means. Didn't mean to get ahead of you there.
You're fine. But that's just with Zazu.
Sure.
The action I wanted... Huh?
Carry on.
Yes. The other one I wanted to do was just to go ahead and... Actually, no, I do need to ask. How close are the last two together?
Well, they're still 10 feet apart from each other. The one that you shot at just now is like 15 feet and like dropping back, right? Like it's not advancing anymore. You managed to stop its forward momentum with that shot.
Okay, so still can't hit. All right, I will hit the...
Okie dokie.
Well, Thunder doesn't get an advantage on that, so I'll do another acid check.
All right.
14.
That misses the taker. Sorry to say. So your spell fires off and your acid orb goes zinging off into the black. Sure to give somebody a bad day one of these days. But it does not manage to connect. So now it's... Are you going to use any of your movement? Are you going to like try and get back inside, or are you going to just stand your ground and shoot these things?
Move backward at all? Like away from them?
You have enough... you're able to use your movement to pull yourself around on the ship, yeah.
Okay, then considering I know what Willow does with blades, I'm gonna go ahead and use my movement to pull back.
Okay. Are you going to like hang out in the airlock, or how exactly are you going to do this?
No, on the hull. I don't want
on
to
the
go
hull.
into the airlock.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not
all right.
leaving Willow alone there.
Okay, fine. Okay, so now you have basically two Wroth still moving towards you, one floating in space and helpless. Since they're just sort of hanging out in space and can't really move as much, the Taker decides to actually point a blaster at you, Kala, and fires off a shot. However, since he's still a little bit too far away, he gets a disadvantage, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to assume that a 13 doesn't get it. Cool. So, yeah, there's a blast of dark purple energy next to you along the hull, but like that's pretty much all the more that he does. The other failure, on the other hand, well, he can't do anything because he's just a failure and he has no guns. They don't let them have guns. So yeah, he just gnashes his teeth and like claws up and he gets ready to latch onto the hull. And they come within 25 feet of doing just that on this turn. So, Boom Squid.
So, can I still get a shot on them, or are they too close to the ship at this point?
This will be the last time you can manage it, but you're going to be at disadvantage. Yes. Sage. Willow, what? Did we miss
turn?
Did we skip? No, Willow went before you, didn't she?
No.
No.
You call on me first.
I'm sorry. I was doing the last initiative order. You're right. My mistake.
You're fine. I think the one that has intelligence and has a blaster is the problem, so I'm going to shoot at it.
All right.
All right. Because a smart one is much more terrifying than a dumb one.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to, again, use my steady aim to get advantage on the shot.
All right.
So that's 22.
Does hit.
For 5 radiant damage plus 2d6. Oh, so this is 16 damage all day.
16 all day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Alrighty then. Anything else you're doing with your turn?
We're staying on the hull and fighting, I guess, so that's all I got.
Okay. You're not doing like an offhand shot or anything?
I use my bonus action for the steady aim. It's like
okay. Gotcha. Okay. Now, Oh, I'm sorry.
We can edit
Get
that out.
blessed.
Get blessed is right. Oh no, here it goes. Yuis, quick.
Help! I keep concentrating on Blaze and I helped Kara. Boom Squid, this is the only one nearby.
Okay, well that'll cancel out the disadvantage then. So that'll be
Like
nice.
It's like an annoying help, like, quick, do something! Save them!
Alright, so go ahead and roll flat.
Yeah.
Attack.
Well, you have the plus 1d4.
Plus 1d4. Yeah.
Yeah.
25.
Yeah, that gets it. Roll roll a d6.
26.
Roll a d6.
2.
Okay. So the other Wrothian failure, the one that wasn't spinning off in space already, just disappears in a flash of like blaster fire. The Wrothian taker is still on approach, and there is one failure spinning out helplessly in space.
Good
And
job.
yeah, top of the initiative, Kala.
I think we all know.
It's going to be landing on your ship next round.
I'm gonna try to hit it with Zazu.
Okay, do that.
Is it 16 hit?
On the nose. Yay!
9 force and 5 feet back in.
9 force and now adrift. So you have 2 Wrothians floating in space outside of your ship.
Can I flick on my comlink real quick?
Yeah.
Who's on the big gun?
Me. That's good.
First, nice shot. Second, do it again.
All right. Okay. So, are you gonna take any more shots after Zazu, or are you?
I have no reason to. They're no longer a threat for me at the moment. I'm gonna let Boom Squid have some target practice.
All right. So, what's your action? Are you just like foregoing your action this round?
I'll hold a blaster shot if he happens to make it.
All right. Willow.
I'm going to do the same, but bonus action steady aim. Shoot again. Big guy.
Okay. Go ahead.
'Cause, I mean, he's just floating there,
Yeah. Sure is.
menacingly.
With a gun.
As menacing as a dog held over a body of water that is starting to paddle. That's the image I have of this thing in my head. It is trying to dog paddle in space.
But this dog has a gun. Important distinction.
Right?
Mhm.
Nah.
So does our dog, and our dog has it built in. It can't be disarmed.
Yeah. So you're
But I miss.
Magic stone.
the yeah. So your shot goes wide, probably due to the fact that it's now spinning out of control in space.
That and Will is trying not to laugh at how stupid it looks.
Wait, you didn't add your D4 to the attack roll.
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting I have that.
Shit, I forgot I had that.
Nah, it still misses. It's 12.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That's fine then. So that's your turn. It's going to try and return the favor because you were the last one to try and shoot at it. It really hates your guts, Kala, but it's got kind of a very focused attention span. So it's going to attempt to shoot Willow. Well, that ain't going to do it either. A 13 does not hit, I'm sure.
Nope.
Okay. So another one of those splashes of that dark purple energy lands on the deck plate next to you. As basically it almost like it looks like it's spitting this necrotic power at you. But it does in fact miss, and that's all it can do really. So Caxos?
Help!
Yay!
Yes, I will like bat the blows run of the suit of Boom Squid and say like, yeah, good shot, but don't let it go over your head. Like, fuck it.
Yeah. So
I got this.
interestingly enough, with Kala stopping their advance with Zazu shots, they do remain just in the inner periphery of your range with the autocannon.
Perfect. 21.
Great. Flip a coin, or you can roll a d4 and then divide by 2.
You can just do a
You
D2.
can roll a D2, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Look,
2.
fuck Unreal Dice in our coin. Okay. All right. Cool.
A D2 is just a coin.
A coin is a D2, and our currency is made of D2s, made of metal and paper.
Right. So
Do with that how you will.
the last failure disappears against all odds at the sound of a Wilhelm scream, and it's now just the Taker floating helplessly in space. Well, nearly helplessly. He's still trying to shoot at you.
We could just go inside the ship, and he literally barely could do anything.
See, the thing is, he can't do anything at all, because if the Taker can't do anything to us, damage-wise, as far as the ship, that means a precedent will be set for me to get on top of the ship at a later point in this game and pull out my rifle and actually damage other people.
You know, there actually are weapons that let you do that.
Yes.
The Tachyon missile model will allow you to do exactly what you're talking about.
Yes. However, I'm assuming he does not have that.
Nobody said they went and bought a Tachyon missile at the store, so no.
I didn't. I don't even know what that is, so I have to look that up later.
I thought I told you that's on my Christmas list.
You even read my Christmas list? All right, so we're still on initiative though, because this thing is still shooting at you two. But we're back on top of the order, and Kala, you've been watching these failures live up to their name spectacularly as they get picked off by autocannon fire, and you have got a little spinning target that likes to target you back.
Out of character. Does anybody else want another pot shot?
As long as we get it taken care of, I don't care.
Anybody conscious want another pot shot?
Never mind.
I know you haven't. Actually, you know what? Here, let's do this. I want you to roll for my Zazu shot.
No.
Any D20, add 4 to that.
Oh my god, that's alright.
That's a sweet thing.
Thank you.
You get to do something today.
Yay! I can do something besides snore. Alright. I apologize in advance. You know what? Wait, what modifiers am I adding?
Your dex and proficiency.
What are the numbers? Because I'm.
Well, I mean,
use
actually, you know what,
Callus.
it would be off of your modifier, wouldn't it, Kala? So what is
Zazu's a straight roll +4.
Okay, so +4. Gotcha.
Just a, yeah.
All right. I'm sorry for the nat 1 I'm about to show you. That's an 8.
Okay.
Thank you for entrusting me with something very important, and then I dropped the ball on you.
Well, to be fair, you were all asleep all day, so it's like you just woke up, you haven't had your coffee. It's like, what the fuck? Boop. So, what about your action?
You want to waste it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I wouldn't call it throwing away your shot. Just don't cast another spell on him.
You know what would be really ironic right about now?
If the Wrothian started singing Hamilton, what?
If I hit him with a ray of frost, that would slow him down by 10.
It's like, do you want to put him back in his Rothsickle? I mean,
yeah. Roll the hit with a cantrip.
Roll to hit.
19.
Roll your damage.
7.
All right, so 7 frost damage.
Beautiful.
Okay, so this Wrothian is looking extremely fucked up. He looks extremely annoyed at the frost damage, as if to say, "Bitch, are you kidding?" Willow, you have a turn.
Okay. How far away is this guy in space? Just out of curiosity.
Well, now he's about 30 feet away.
Okay, never mind. I'm just gonna shoot him. I'm just gonna steady aim again and shoot him.
Have at it.
Oh, really? Again with the 11s.
Add your D4.
Right, D4.
Nope.
12 again. What is going on here?
You're in that weird purgatory.
Yeah, dice purgatory.
Yep. Okay, so Kexos, I'm going to assume, is continuing to help.
Help! Yes.
Boom squid.
Yes.
I need somebody.
Close out the show.
You're doing great now. Just like keep doing the thing you're doing. I'm helping.
It's like a shooting gallery game, I imagine, for them.
Yeah, at this point.
Yeah, this is like doing a task in Among Us or something.
I love it when couples get to go on a date to the arcade together.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm just pointing at stuff.
Yeah, he's just literally pointing at the screen, being like, "Shoot it, shoot it,
and,
come on."
And they're like, "Yeah, I know. Thank you, I know."
It's like this. it's like that scene.
This is a cute date between the two of them.
Oh my god.
It's like that date from. It's like that scene from Guardians 2 where they're all in the arcade sort of thing for the fighters, and then they're all just clustered around the one guy.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm just glad that Kareos and Caxos are now getting the date episode like hours.
All right.
Think of it from the scene from Mass Effect with the date with Garrus.
Yeah.
Very fitting. Very
So,
fitting.
okay, I see you rolled a 19.
Yeah.
How do you want to do this?
I mean, the shot, the auto turret lines up with him, shoots, and he's just a puff of dust now. There's nothing left.
All right.
Yep.
So, all is clear and quiet now. You don't see any more hostiles in the area. There don't appear to be any more Roth crawling around the surface of the wreckage like cockroaches. There's certainly no husks laying in the corridors unexplored or anything. And you two have two big-ass Gnomish auxiliary power batteries on your deck plate outside of your airlock. And we are going to stop for the night there. So
sorry that everything was focused on Kala for the most part tonight, guys.
It's okay. We'll discuss that briefly after we end the call. But for right now, I just wanted to say, check us out over on Twitch TV, Scotty_H20D. UEC does fantastic fucking art. Everybody else is in a bunch of other games. Follow us on Twitter, and we will catch you all later. And good night.
Bye, everybody.
Good night. Bye.
Dark Matter is copyright Mage Hand Press. Check them out at mfov.magehandpress.com. Sound effects by Sirenscape Online, the premier solution for your virtual tabletop RPG sound effects needs. $22 every other month gets you access to Sirenscape's library of hundreds of curated music and sound effect packages. From swords to spells to starships, if you need sound, you need Sirenscape Online. Check them out at Sirenscape.com. Zap the Laser Corgi and Snickle Socks, if you appear today, appear courtesy of the Retroverse. Check them out at lasersandliches.com. Radical.